Story time, so gather round and get comfy, because tonight's tale is about a guy named Pete. Now Pete was a nice guy, had a family and a career, worked hard, paid his dues and he enjoyed a beer. What many didn't know though was in his spare time he would suffocate kittens whilst wearing a smile. See, this was something that Pete really enjoyed, and in his own mind this was his personal choice. He is the superior, he wins the fight, so that makes it okay, because might equals right. Yet when people found out what Pete was doing, the whole town was in uproar, a court case ensuing. Pete was caught out by the speciesist cycle, where it's fine to do this to some, but not all. Suddenly, personal satisfaction and individual gratification don't actually hold up any kind of moral justification. Now top of the food chain suddenly crosses the line when we violate a different kind of species rights. Anyhow, I digress. Let's move on to our second story. This one is about siblings called Kate and Corey. They were both religious people, both proud and devout. Other than that, just regular folk with nothing special about. One day the pair were having a conflict of opinion. Corey says God appeared in a dream before him. It's okay for you to kill if you want, I give permission. Kate doesn't agree and claims he invented the vision. She follows up with the time that God spoke to her. It's not okay for you to kill, it's not moral, just or fair. Corey shakes his head, shouting lies at her version. So who is right here, and how would we determine? This is why we can't use faith to form a moral view. Far simpler is to ask if you'd accept it for you. If the answer is no, then it's most likely immoral, and that's a much easier way to solve this quarrel. Anyway, onto our final story of the night. Don't fall asleep yet with one more fright. This one's about Jane, and she loved her tradition. Walked around in a t-shirt saying made in Britain, loved her full English, couldn't wait for a roast, participating in all the things that culture promotes. With cowskin on her feet and sheep's wool for a sweater, Jane wasn't a bad person, she just didn't know any better. Always been the way it was for as long as she has known, and her parents were the same, a true traditionalist home. With Christmas coming up, Jane couldn't wait to enjoy it all gathered around a dead body, sounds like a funeral. The point of this story is that the past doesn't justify the now. If you know better, you should do better, yet we don't somehow. We call it a time of giving, but yet all we do is take. Season of goodwill, yet more rights we violate. Wonder how many this year, whilst opening their gifts, will actually be unwrapping oppression and injustice.